Hi everyone, Sarah here from Sarah Homfray Embroidery. Welcome to another Chit Chat Tuesday. It's been a while since I've done one of these. We have been away on holiday. We took ourselves off for a little holiday. We often get to this time of year and we feel really burnt out. We go at 100 miles an hour all year and we love what we do and we love doing it, but we do it quite intensely. And then we get to about autumn time and we think, oh, we're really tired. And you sleep all night and then you get up and you're still tired and you're like, why am I still tired? And I said, we really need a holiday. So we thought we'll squeeze in a week away and we'll go and get some sunshine just as it was starting to get cold here in the UK. So we headed to the Mediterranean for a week. If you're not in the UK, that's a popular place to go for British people. If you want a bit of winter sunshines, pop to the Mediterranean. It was only a couple of hours flight to most places in the Western Mediterranean anyway. So we had mooched around the Mediterranean for a week and we had some sunshine and we had somebody else look after us and cook for us and clean up after us and all of that sort of thing. So we had a really good week away just to have a rest and just to not think about work. So when we because we work at home, anybody who works at home will be familiar with this, you never quite leave it behind. It's always there. We have a studio and we can lock the studio up, but you know, there's still stuff in the house and you're still sort of thinking about what needs doing. So for us, we need to actually go away. We actually need to leave the premises in order to have a bit of downtime. And although I'm not sure I feel physically relaxed and rested, I certainly feel mentally better. And I just find that my mind isn't racing so much. There was so much going on in my head. There's so many ideas and I need to do this and I need to finish that I just wasn't finishing, you know, I was kind of got all the balls up in the air at the same time and just wasn't finishing one thing. I was just flitting from one thing to another and trying to finish it. And I just find my head was so busy. And I just found that week away in the sunshine just made my mind relax, and I've just come home and I'm a lot more relaxed about everything that I need to do. There's still a ton of stuff to do, but I'm not fretting about it so much, I guess. So it is really important if you were thinking of maybe doing your hobby for your living, or working for yourself, and those of you that do work for yourself will recognise this, is it's quite hard to take time off. You just think, oh, I'm going to have a week off and all my customers and my followers are all going to disappear, and it took us a long while to realise that that wasn't actually going to happen, and you would all patiently wait until we got back. So we need to just remember that and recognise the signs, I think, and make sure that we have a break so we're refreshed, because otherwise I can't make good content for you if I'm not in the right place to make it. So we do feel refreshed and ready to go again. So before we get on and talk about videos and running out of videos with the channel, I've got a few things that I have finished that I want to show you since we've been back a couple of weeks. So I have been sitting doing a couple of things and just getting stuff finished off, because it is a really good feeling to get things finished. You feel, yeah, that's done. I've achieved something. I've completed something. I really feel that's quite important. And then you can look at starting the next thing, which is always exciting, isn't it? So if you are struggling to finish things, do check out our Finish It Friday videos for help with why we get stuck on finishing things and why we find that difficult, and how to get something moving if you've been stuck on it for a while. So do check those out. So this is a bit of a Finish It Friday meets a Chit Chat Tuesday. So what shall I show you first? Right, I'll show you this. So a couple of weeks ago now, I did some mindful embroidery where we just had a little go at just doing some fun stitches. No plan in mind, no pattern to follow, no instructions to understand. It was just some thread and some fabric, and it was just playing with those two things and just enjoying the process of it without worrying about the outcome. But as you can see, there can be an outcome. So I've got a couple of videos on that. Do check those ones out. You can do this whatever technique you like doing as well. If you're a needlepointer or you like canvas work, you can do it on that. I'll show you that in a second. This is just a bit of a freestyle one. If you like doing cross stitch, it's a really great way to learn a bit more about your cross stitching in your embroidery, I think. So just sort of maybe escape the safety of the holes of the cross stitch fabric, but it's still doing cross stitch, but getting a bit experimental with it and seeing what else you can do with it. It's quite a versatile stitch when you look at it quite closely. So it's good for cross stitch as well. So do check those videos out. But this is the one I made in those videos. You might recognise that little panel I did, and then I turned it to a little book cover, which I said I was going to do in another video. And it was only a little project. It's been floating around on my desk. I thought, just get it done. Let's finish it. So I actually made the little book inside, and I'll just slip that out of the cover. So you can see that's my little book. And I just fold the ends in and just sew along the top and the bottom. And then I can just slip the book cover inside like that. We do have a video on how to do that process. So you can go and look at that if you want to know how to make a little book. So just a little bit of experimental fun embroidery, and I can actually turn it into something. I made it into this little book. So I didn't set out to make it into a book. I set out to do the embroidery and to enjoy that process. And then I thought, what can I do with it? And that's what I can do with it. So that's finished. It's quite cute. It's got watercolour paper in it, so I could do a bit of painting in that if I want to. Right, what else have we got on my desk? Right, I'm going to show you this. I finished it. So if you follow me on Chit Chat Tuesday, this has been in a couple of times, and also a box making video. Did a video on how to make these cute little boxes, and this one had been floating around forever, years, literally years. And I pulled it out recently, and I thought I should get that finished. So if you've been following that, you will know I made the lid for it, and I thought I'm going to try this fancy mechanism to make this magic box. And I've managed to do it. Now, it looks all right on the camera. If you look up closely, it's not brilliant. My measurements a little bit out and things don't quite line up, and I'm not really sure about this all the way around, which is why I put the bow around it. But anyway, I did it and I proved my point and I finished it. So in my eyes, that is good enough, and I'm going to show you. So if I open it one way, I get the middle compartment showing, and then if I close that and I open it the other way, I get those two compartments. I'm so excited that that worked. So magic. 1, 2. Please don't ask me for the instructions for this and the measurements. I don't know. I kind of ended up making it up. I cut one piece of card, I fitted it, and I went, yeah, that'll do. Which is why my measurements aren't great. But sometimes you just have to get it done. You just have to go, is this good enough? Is this achieving what I want to achieve? And move on. And I feel like I can move on. But I'm quite pleased with it. It looks quite pretty, especially with a little bow around it. And it doesn't open like all the way. Something not quite right with the mechanics. It goes about that far. But I did manage to do it, and I made it work. And I'm pleased with that. And I'm pleased I've got it finished. I did think I would want to put something on the top. I thought it needs a big piece of stump work on the top or something like that. Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. I'm going to call it done for now, and if I want to go back to it, I can go back to it. So magic box finished. So following on from that one was the needlepoint one. So that was a little needlepoint one I made. Look, I made it into a little pot. So cute. So another one was hanging around, and I just get it done. Took me probably, I don't know, an hour to finish it. And I think if you're got lots of things you want to finish, find the thing that you think needs the least amount of work and you can get done, and you can tick it off and you go, yeah, that one's done. So this is one of those, and it's come out really well. I'm really pleased with it. And the thing about needlepoint pot or needlepoint embroidery is it's actually really solid. So this has made a really nice sturdy little pot. And I know a few of you, after I mentioned these in a previous video, said, oh, show us how to make the pots. So pots are coming. I am going to make a pot video very soon. I'll try and do it for this week, but I'm not sure the way this week's going. I'm not sure if that's going to happen, but next few weeks. So I'm going to show you how to make this little pot. But that was the little bit of mindful needlepoint canvas work stitching I did, and I turned it into a pot, and I've just lined it with some thick felt and put a piece on the bottom, and that's quite sturdy, and it's great. I love it. I've got a few more little pots to show you while I'm here. So there's different kinds. So that was a needlepoint one. There's a little slow stitching one. It's alive. Little slow stitching one I made. There's another slow stitching one. These were hanging around. There's two of these. These have been hanging around as longer pieces. You just roll it round and sew it up, but they're not very technical. And they were going to be little book covers, and they never happened for some reason. I thought these are meant to be something else, and then just suddenly thought, oh, I bet they make good pots. So I've made the little pots. So there's two of those. They match. Quite cute. Just a bigger one there with some slow stitching on. It's got a little bird on it. Nice little bits of slow stitching on there. And then there's one more that's slightly different. It's been on my shelf behind my video, so I don't know if you've noticed this one or not. So this is a slightly different method that I might show you that one as well. So lots of stitch pots going on. Very cute. Stitch pots are coming, folks. Okay, so let's talk about, will I run out of videos? I do get asked this actually. How do you come up with so much content? Will you ever run out of videos? So I just thought I'd talk briefly through the process of how we do this. We do have a video that we made a while back now on the YouTube channel, and what it's like to have a YouTube channel, and Jonathan's in that one as well. If you want to meet Jonathan, you can go and watch that video. So just briefly, I thought I'd talk about the process because I think it is of relevance to that question and to the future of the channel and the videos on the channel. So I have to plan all the videos, obviously. So we do roughly 2 a week. So we've got the Chit Chat Tuesday and then one that goes up on a Friday. Chit Chat one doesn't need so much planning. I still do plan it. I still want to have a focus for the video and I want to have something to show you and something to talk about. So I do plan those ones, but obviously the Friday video needs quite a lot of planning. I often have to make a sample, so I'm confident that I know what I'm talking about on the Friday video. Sometimes I can just jump straight in and I can stitch it without having stitched one before. Often I just try one and I make one, or it's something I've already made and thought this will be good, and then I have to dissect it and think, how do I show you how to make it, because it's different from me sitting here and just making it. So often there are 2. There's one prior to the video being made and then the one I make in the video. So I have to plan that. How am I going to show you how to do it? Do I have to make a sample? So I have to do all that for it, and then I usually make one in the video as well, which I then need to finish. Don't always finish it in the video. Sometimes there's a little bit of trickery of how we film it. I can get away with not doing the whole thing in the video, but then I'm left with lots of unfinished things, and then I have a Finish It Friday video where I have to tackle all these unfinished things. So I have to do a lot of planning. I have to make the projects for the videos, and then I have to finish the one that I've made in the video. The last video I made before we went away on a holiday was how to print onto fabric. So if you haven't seen that one yet, go and check that out, because that's lots of exciting opportunities. There's my little jellyfish. That's from a painting that I did. That's a watercolour painting and I printed it on fabric. Really exciting about what might be possible with this one. So I made this video, and then I promised my channel members, my YouTube channel members and my Patreons, that I would show you how to stitch on it. So I am doing that as well. So I've made myself some more work for that. But I'm excited to show you guys how you can add some stitching to these designs, because like I say, it does open up a lot of new opportunities. If you can print something on the fabric, you can stitch on it. So that is underway. I am doing some stitching prior to the video for that, because I can't do it all in the video. You don't want to watch me do the whole thing. So that one is underway and that one is coming. So obviously that is also a project in the pipeline. And I often do my stitching in the house in the evening. Now I've got a lovely studio that I work in, but I don't know why. For some reason I feel I can't sit out here and do stitching, even though it's for a video and for work. When I'm in here, there's kind of other things that need to happen. So I've got my computer here, so it's emails. I might be ordering something for the shop, some stock for the shop, answering Patreon and channel member comments, planning videos. So there's all that kind of thing going on in here, and there never seems to be any time to actually stitch in my studio. I think people have got this idea that I've got this lovely space and I've just got my embroidery set up with some nice music on and I just sit and stitch. Nope, it's not like that. And so I do it mainly in the house in the evening, which is fine. I love stitching. I like doing it. I'm quite happy to do it in the evening. But just to show you what kind of goes into this and why we get to this time of year, there's a bit of burnout because it is constant. I'm doing it in all day long in here, and then I'm going in the house, and often, not every evening, but I often do it in the evening as well. I tend not to do any at the weekend. I try and keep the weekend for other things, other parts of life. So I do a lot in the house in preparation for the videos. So I thought I would show you my video plan, in case you're all worrying that there's not going to be a video next week. So I bought this book and I thought I'm just going to dump all my ideas in here. And if you're a creative person, you will know this. There's always a million things going around your head. Oh, I could make this and I could do that. And there'll never be enough hours in the day. So dump them all out of your head and into something. You can do it on a computer or your phone. I quite like a written thing. I spend enough time on technical electronic devices. I quite like a bit of paper and a pen. So I wrote them all in this book. But what I found was with this, when I wanted to do a video and all my ideas in here, I was having to rifle through the whole thing. It wasn't very organised. There's some quite sort of detailed ideas in there about different videos. So what I did was I simplified it down and made myself a little simple spreadsheet, and I just wrote all my ideas on there. They don't need the details and they don't need the thought process. It's just like, this is the idea, write it down. And then I can just look at one sheet of paper and I can go down these and go, oh, we'll make this week, and oh, this will be good, or this is relevant to something that we've been doing or something that's going on in the wider world. And I can pick one off that, and I've got some chit chat ideas on there as well. And if I just think of something, think of an idea, think that would be good, I just write it on here. It may not happen just because it's on here, and then I tick it off and I put the date if I've actually finished it and done it, and I can see something of my effort. I can see some progress. So that is the current list, and that is without me sitting down and going, what videos can I make, and having a discussion about that and thinking, I don't know what to make this week. This is literally, I'm doing something, oh, that'd make a good video, write it on the list. So this is the list without even thinking about it. Imagine what I could come up with if I actually sat down and thought about it purposefully. So don't worry, folks, I'm not going to run out of ideas. There's tons of stuff we haven't covered, and I do find as well that people don't look at the older videos so much. They don't go and look for those. People want what's kind of presented to them. So we could cover some old stuff again as well, and I know that most of you won't have seen it as well. I don't really want to regurgitate stuff, but sometimes it's interesting to do it again, and I'll watch a video that I did ages ago and think, it's not very good. We have improved our video making and editing techniques hugely. So if you do watch an earlier one, be kind. We had to learn from bottom up. We didn't know anything about filming. We've learned it all ourselves, so be kind to us. But there will always be tons of content to do, and then if I asked you what I wanted, you would come up with another list of stuff maybe that I hadn't thought of, that I could do as well. So if I do think I'm getting low on ideas, I will come and ask you. And I do often ask as well, and especially to our channel members and our patrons, I say, what would you like a video on this week? Should we do this or this? So we're not going to run out of ideas. There's always a lot to do. Whether I run out of steam or not is another matter. As I mentioned right at the beginning, those breaks are important. Can't go 100 miles an hour even when it's something you love doing. So we do need to make sure we get those breaks in there so that we feel refreshed, ready to make more content. So last week I made something a little bit different. If you haven't seen that video yet, go and check it out and see what these little scratchy pieces are. Looking a bit sorry for themselves. Go check that video out if you want to know what this is all about, because something a little bit different last week. I shall sign off for now because I have another video to plan for the end of the week. So thanks for watching, everybody. Leave a comment below, join in the chat with me. Always like to see what you have to say. And this is Sarah signing out. I will see you again soon.